Hey, what's up everybody? This is Damron with Trash Ass Gamers, and we're playing Final Fantasy 15 multiplayer Comrades, and we're going to talk about the newest fight that was added just recently to defeat Kenny Crow and to net you the Golden Nestor achievement. So this quest is found by talking to the bonus quest sphere that's right here in the middle of Lestalem, just above the stairs whenever you enter the game. And the new quest is at the very, very bottom, which is to defeat Kenny Crow. Now I have a separate video. You can see down here my HP 7000, Strength 2000, Vitality 2400, and I have 100% Penta resistance. So I have a separate video that's going to go along with this. That's an ultimate character build. That's essentially going to show you everything you need to know to build a really very strong character that can really take on basically any content in the game, including Kenny Crow, which you're seeing I'm hitting 9,999 damage against Kenny Crow. So all the weapons that I'm using in this build will be covered in the ultimate character guide, which I'll link at the end of the video. So if you want to understand how this build works, please refer to that video. Now first off, the thing that we want to use is the Rampage Royal Sigil, and we're going to be using the martial arts ability, which is the left trigger plus B, to basically slam attack Kenny Crow, because this particular attack avoids all of his resistances. And another thing that we use is the dancing daggers, which you'll see I think later I get some attacks in without the dancing daggers, and I'm only doing about 7,000 damage, but the dancing daggers are really good, and I've put a lot of emphasis in that particular ability. When you equip your dancing daggers and use the left trigger plus Y curative spell, you're going to get a plus 30% bonus to strength and a plus 30% bonus to vitality for 30 seconds. So you can activate that every 30 seconds or so and continue attacking with martial arts. So the strategy for Kenny Crow himself is essentially kind of keeping your distance from him. We'll talk about all his attacks as we're moving forward. This can be kind of a long fight. You want to kind of keep your distance, and basically what you're looking for are opportunities to get in and bash him with the martial arts ability as many times as you can, and then get back out to avoid his attacks. And most of his attacks are kind of short to medium range attacks that if you stay off a little bit, you're really not going to get hit by those that often. Now a side note, I will say definitely play this with at least one other player. If you have 3 AI, then you're basically solo. Your AI is going to be useless. The only thing they're very good for is sometimes reviving you, but ultimately they're going to die in this fight because all of Kenny Crow's attacks are basically one-shot attacks. So they will down them, they'll use food once, they'll come back, and they'll get downed again. I mean, they're going to get knocked out of the fight pretty quickly. So you definitely want to keep a human co-op partner with you if you can. It's going to make your life a little bit easier. So let's talk about a few of his attacks. Basically, you're going to see a couple of them right there. He'll kind of stand his ground and shoot lasers out of his eyes, and he'll do that in 2 ways. He'll either do like a very short range laser attack, or he'll do a very long range laser attack. In those scenarios, that's a really good opportunity to get behind him and start hitting him with your martial arts ability while he's doing that. Another set of attacks he'll do are when he put these blue R rings, and he'll do a couple attacks, and he always has a little sign, right? So you can see he put that light right up in the air. This is like a Jesus beam attack. When you see him doing that, what you want to do is you want to just really start dodging around, and you want to try to time your dodge to when he slams it down, because that will instantly kill you pretty much if it hits you, and it covers a very long distance, almost across the entire stage in a straight attack. So what you want to do is just keep your eyes on him and dodge as you see him bringing it down. Another thing he'll do when he has his blue wings on is he'll kind of put his arms up in the air, and then he'll basically create these beams of light right here as you're seeing that come out of the ground. He'll do a little smash, and those will come out of the ground and do quite a bit of damage. The thing about all of Kenny Crow's attacks is they all do significant amounts of damage. Almost everything he hits you with is going to one-shot you. Another thing you're seeing there, again, is almost another Jesus beam attack, right? He's just shooting a beam of light straight ahead. That's also a good opportunity to go ahead and get behind him and get some attacks in. Also, I will say at the end of all his attacks, you have a window of 4 or 5 seconds to do damage of him just standing there. Now, you just saw him pull out a machine gun. He can pull that out and pull out a rocket launcher. Good news, what you need to do, even if you don't take my entire build with you from my ultimate character build guide, you want to have 100% projectile resistance for this fight. If you have 100% projectile resistance, you're going to be invulnerable to his machine gun and his rocket launcher attack. Another attack that he'll do when he's not in the blue RFAs, he'll basically just do a kind of teleport strike at you. You need to roll dodge that. Often when he comes out of that, he will also do like a sweeping cleave sword attack that generates a little bit of smoke in the area that he swung his sword. So be aware of that. Again, keeping medium distance and roll dodging away from that is going to help you out in that situation. Now, as you get further and further into the fight, he can heal. You actually saw that happen right here. You know, we all were kind of down and out and basically just trying to get away, but he will heal himself when he's in that blue wing phase. So keep that in mind. When he goes back into that phase, the blue aura that he keeps around him can actually heal him, so you need to keep your damage up. So when he actually knocked us all down, he had a window of opportunity to heal himself, at which we really couldn't interrupt it. We couldn't do damage, and he got almost all of his entire health back. So that's the majority, if not all, really, of his attacks. So the strategy, again, and I want to point out right there, you're seeing me hit 7,000 damage. That's how critical the dancing daggers are with this build and with this setup. So I did the dancing animation there, and I'm hitting again now for 9999. And with that, I will say just briefly, when you cast the curative spell with your dancing daggers active, you don't have to watch the entire animation. As soon as you cast it, you can switch back to whatever weapon you're using, which I'm using double penetrator 10 dragon whisker with combined martial arts, is essentially negating all of his resistances, and that's why I'm hitting so hard. So keep all that in mind. And basically, so there's the cleave I was telling you about with the smoke. If you keep a medium distance away from him, keep your camera on him, you should be able to dodge all of his attacks. They have a pretty easy tell to figure out. One thing that you cannot do, you cannot warp strike him. If you warp strike him, he's going to basically hit you so hard you'll be basically dead. So don't warp strike him, and also don't use warp strike to regenerate your mana or anything, because what's going to kill you in this fight is if you don't have your camera on Kenny and you're not paying attention to what he's doing. He can hit you with a lot of attacks out of nowhere if you're not paying attention to him. So if you're just up on a wall hanging out trying to regenerate your magicka, he hits you with a sword strike, that's going to be game over for you. So keep all that in mind. Keep him in your field of vision and keep on. It's really a game of patience. Stay back, wait for your opportunity, hit a couple martial arts strikes, and finish this fight off. So we're going to go ahead and finish the fight. We'll let you watch the rest of the fight. And at the end of the video, we'll talk about a few things, and I'll also link the video for the ultimate character build. Again, that video is going to show you everything, every tiny detail that you need to know to make a very strong character in Final Fantasy 15 Comrades. So I hope you guys like this. If you did, feel free to like and subscribe, and hopefully we'll see you out in Final Fantasy. right, so that's it, guys. That's the fight with Kenny Crow. So it is a difficult fight, but you know, with some practice and hopefully with the things we talked about earlier in the video, this will help you kind of get through this fight and net you the Golden Nester achievement. Again, here is the I'm going to link this at the very end, the link to the ultimate character guide that I put together. That should help you guys build a pretty strong character. Turns out Kenny Crow was the only person involved in creating this new DLC content. I thought that was actually pretty funny. Here at the end you can see all the people are named Kenny Crow that were involved in the production of this portion of Final Fantasy 15 Comrades. So I hope you guys liked the video. If you did, feel free to like and subscribe. Again, check out the ultimate character build. I think that's really going to help you out, and we'll see you guys around.